Hi YouTube, I am Kitsune Cosplay. I am doing a video introduction to what I have been working on for the past 2 weeks for Anime Boston. I have been working every night for the past 2 weeks on a Renamon full suit, semi-digigrade full suit. I just finished it yesterday. And what I started on first was I was sculpting the head. If you've watched the playlist that I'll probably link right here, I sculpted the head completely out of upholstery foam. I did not use any other base besides upholstery foam. And I kind of might have screwed up the sizing a bit on the head form base that I did. I did a wraparound base on my own head from the tip of my nose to the back part where the back of my head starts to descend or bend in. And I made that into a foam base, marked where the eyes were, and then I sculpted the foam on top of that. And it's completely squishable. Don't want to do that too much though. The nose I used, basically I sculpted a nose out of monster clay. You can see it's a lip now. I sculpted it out of monster clay, did a couple layers of black latex paint, removed it after it was completely dry from the clay, and then filled the inside of it with polyfill in more latex paint to solidify it completely through. And then I glued it on top of the foam base. The eyes I freehanded using, well, I basically used a reference of outline images of Renamon. And I freehanded both sides. I'm going to use camping foam mat, which is about that thin of foam, to wrap around the buckram, and then put a back layer on the buckram that was just going around the edges of the buckram so that it would keep the buckram attached to the foam sides and wouldn't pop out. Then afterwards I sculpted the legs. Let's see if I can get them out. I'm probably going to just get this one out for now. Sculpted the legs out of same upholstery foam, 1 inch thick, and then hot glued it down. Took the edges, these edges, put hot glue on it, and pushed down onto it on the duct tape dummy, so that it would give a clean, smooth edge on it. The first thing I did, because it didn't have upholstery foam at the time, but I had the fur, was the tail. It's a simple tail. You basically cut up my old fursuit tail that I don't need anymore, and use that as a pattern to cut this one out. It has an elastic belt loop, so it can easily swing if a kid pulls on it. Let's see. And next I sculpted the feet. If you guys watched the playlist, I sculpted the feet out of the same upholstery foam as the others, and the base is a sneaker, so that I can tighten the feet onto my feet so they won't move as much. But one design plus that I found out is the toes are flexible, so now I can actually go on stairs without any assistance. Next I sculpted out of the anti-fatigue mats. I had leftover anti-fatigue mat foam from a previous project that I did. And I sculpted the paw pads. After I sculpted paw pads for both feet, I coated it 3 times in the latex paint, and dusted it with a bit of flour to remove the tackiness of the latex, so it wouldn't stick to the floor. Let's see what else. Next, I did pattern creation for the sleeves. I basically took about 2 years of designing the sleeves, and I basically freehanded every pattern that was not part of the bodysuit, like the head, the feet, the arm sleeves, the leg markings, and I also freehanded this, the yin-yang patches on both sleeves, and painted them, hand-painted. I hand-stitched it, along with hand-stitching this, and I also freehanded and hand-stitched some face markings. Okay, what else? After I started on the bodysuit, when I had both halves sewn, I took the front half, and put a slit right down the middle, and hand stitched the zipper on the little seam. There's a little seam hem on the back of the zipper that I used as a guide and went all the way up. So I would have a perfectly straight seam all the way up. And when it's zipped up, it's a hidden zipper. Let's see. Back on the head, I freehanded the neck cape, but when I made the design, I doubled it when I cut it out and put a zipper in, so I can store the fan for the head. The fan battery pack, it runs on a 9-volt battery. I basically used up all the juice in the battery that I had, testing it, but it works. It provides ventilation, and the hands are basically, well, 3-finger hands. These were the quickest I finished, and along with the zipper pouch, I can store it in there. I kind of lined the back of the head with a little leftover fleece that I used for the sleeves, so that it would be easier to remove. And as you can see, I can talk and I can see. For this head, my field of vision is from here to here. I opted for the most vision I could get, but I think I might have overdid it a bit because I didn't make the cheeks thick enough, so it's not as pointed as the character itself. But it makes it easier to take off and breathe. The only downside to the design is the only way I can breathe is through the buccal mouth that I colored black with permanent marker. And it gets pretty hot when the fan's not off, well, when the fan is off, it gets pretty hot in there. And if I needed to get water, I have to take the head almost completely off. And let's see what else. Oh yeah, the wings or whatever they call it on the back. I freehanded the pattern, and then I cut it out of what was left of the upholstery foam I had. And then made a pattern off of that using the same packing tape and plastic wrap that I had for the rest of the body, and cut it out 2 times. It's completely squishy, so it's lighter than filling it with polyfill. When I made the tail, I used every last bit of the tail foam polyfill that I had in the other tail that I cut up for it. Overall, I'd say safety-wise, I could probably go solo without a handler for Anime Boston for about 10 hours without deheading. Last year I did it in Kurama. You can see the head over there. Last year I soloed Kurama the entire weekend at Anime Boston, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. But I deheaded for about 20 minutes at a time while walking the convention, and only put the head on when people asked for photos. And I didn't have much free time last year because I was in the deathmatch on Friday. I had judging on Friday afternoon for the masquerade. On Saturday I had rehearsal in the morning for the chess match, and then the masquerade at 6. I had a Naruto photo shoot on Saturday after the rehearsals that I had to run to, and it was canceled, well, basically ended early by security because we had 253 Naruto cosplayers outside room 313 blocking it completely for about 20 minutes because we had so many people in the photo shoot. That was pretty surprising for my first photo shoot hosting. I had someone else co-host it. There was a Rock Lee cosplayer, which was a great help because I have never hosted a photo shoot before. I also hosted a fur meet that ended up in 2 places because 2 locations were suggested but not finalized. So half the fur meet met outside the dealer's room and half was on the 3rd floor at the same time. What else? Tips for fur sitting. If you don't have a handler, make sure you know what your limit is for heat. Know how long you can stay in suit. I did it last year by suiting up and basically timing how long I can last without dying. Drink water, lots of it. I suggest probably 2 liters of water a day because you're going to be sweating it all out. Cut out on soda. Gatorade works as well as water, which I would say half the water that you would need for each day should be Gatorade or something similar like Powerade, but not soda. 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower. That's what you should do for a 3-day weekend, 3-day convention. If it's a 4-day convention, you should still do 6 hours, 3 meals, 2 showers. Let's see, what else? If you have a handler, practice hand signs. If you're just meeting your handler at the convention, meet 2 hours before you're actually going to plan to suit, so you can go over what your hand signs are, what's your limits, how long you plan to be in suit, and where you plan to go. Let's see, what else? I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have entered Renamon in the Renamon, Naruto, and my Kurama suit. I've entered them all in the deathmatch, not the masquerade, the dating game, the chess match, the match game, I have entered Renamon in the masquerade for craftsmanship, and let's see what else. I have 2 panels on the wait list. One was denied, another one was denied, and I have not heard back from the second one of the same one. The 2 that I have on the wait list are How to Be a Handler and Fursuit Making 101. Fursuit Making 101 at AAC this past October had a full room, but it was a small room, so can't really count it. And it was my first time hosting a panel. I have started to do research on that, and I have completed an entire presentation for Anime Boston. At AAC, I had nothing. I literally worked on finding photos and crap 20 minutes before my panel started for that one, and also for the handler one. The handler one I have not done research for yet, because I have no idea if I'm going to get it accepted or not. But, let's see. Cade was the one that helped me at AAC, and I might have him help me again at Anime Boston, along with Leanne. Leanne is the owner of KC Creations on Facebook and YouTube. KC Creations is one of the sponsors for Anime Seeking Radio. I am gonna have her help me with the Fursuit Making 101 panel and probably the handler panel if it gets accepted. I have a low chance of getting the handler panel accepted because I think there was one last year. And that's pretty much it. Anime Boston 2016 will be my last Anime Boston until 2018, because next year, instead of Anime Boston, I will be going to Anthro New England in January. What I'm planning to do over the summer is I am going to make a Dutch angel dragon named Aria of the North, or Aria the Winter Angel Dragon, I think. And it's going to be a complete digigrade. This was only a semi-digigrade because Renamon has more human than fox-like digigrade legs. And it's going to be hooved. The hands are going to be similar to Renamon's, which is like 3 fingers, but they're going to be hooved. Let's see, what else? I am going to, similar to Renamon, freehand the sculpting out of foam. And the next fursuit after that will be worked on in the spring or summer of 2017, and it will be Renamon's Digivolve form of Cubimon, and it will be my first quad suit. I'm going to start researching it now, so I am ready for when I start it. If you guys have any videos that you have seen on YouTube or anywhere else, or tutorials or patterns for quad suits, link them in the comments because that will help me a lot in my research and save me time. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much it. So I'll see you guys at Anime Blossom 2016. The next con after that would be AAC 2016, then ANE 2017, and AAC 2017, and Anime Boston 2018, and I don't know yet if I'm going to do Furpak or AAC that year in 2018. Gotta look into ride sharing crap. So, bye. I'm probably gonna produce more AMVs later this week or month. Oh, that's another thing. My AMVs were not accepted, not picked for the finals in the AMV contest at Anime Boston. So next up is working on some for AACs, and hopefully I actually get in the finals for that one. That's pretty much it. Bye.